Now that we've got your attention, let the games begin! Game cartridges assembling. Greetings. Game loading. Mind your fingers. Keep working, you rust buckets. Uh-oh. Ah, that's just great. Megabytes, terabytes, downbytes, gigabytes. First game up, Lens McCracken.
Hello, I'm Lens McCracken, ace photo sleuth. I photograph crime scenes. A message to the punks out there. My pictures will nail ya, then the coppers will jail ya. Have a seat, Mugsy. I need your help in figuring out my latest batch of photos. Then, after we have all the clues, sit back and wonder as I bewilder you with my powers of deductive crime-solving reasoning. It was a cold day. I was wearing a sweater. I guess that's why they call it sweater weather. The teapot was cracked and leaking, and that's why I call this case the case of the cracked teapot case. Check out these photo clues and see what you get. Whoops, sorry kid, but I guess I zoomed in way too close here. This clue sure gives me something to chew on. Can you help me figure out what it is? Rats, another close-up. I guess I'll just have to sit back and try to absorb it. How about you? Did you soak up all the information? I'm all out of ideas. Want to take a whack at it? Come on, baby. Serve me one of your ideas across the table. Now, let's look at them all carefully. Well, I don't know how you're doing, but this looks like a job for my dogmatic darkroom computer, the Solutionator. So here's the first tasty close-up. Did you figure it out? It's red licorice. Good work, sugar. What's the next photo? If we get this one, we're well on our way to mopping up the case. A sponge. Okay. This last picture isn't even giving me a sporting chance of getting it. It's a ping pong paddle. Now it's time to really score and wrap up the case. The famous circus tumbling act, the Great Spazoids, were working their day job as house cleaners. They were scrubbing the kitchen of Old Lady Hill's mansion when they spied some red licorice hidden on the top shelf of the pantry. They climbed up on top of each other's shoulders, but still couldn't reach it. Then one of the Spazoids grabbed a ping pong paddle to swat it down with. That's when it got ugly. The Spazoids took a fall and landed on the old lady's china cabinet, thus breaking the said teapot. What's that sound, baby? It's the sound of the fat lady singing 'cause the case is closed. Am I good or what? When it comes to solving crime, I don't have time for petty details and facts. That's why I'm Lens McCracken, Photo Snoop.
Next game coming up. Game cartridge loading. Check. Ugh, resulting slob.
You know, We can learn a thing or two from even the most peculiar people. Observe. Hello, revolting slob. I'd like to teach the viewers a few new words. My goodness, are you eating packing material? Let's take a closer look. What? You are. You're eating styrofoam.
Taste good.
Now, audience, please don't try this at home. Okay, is what the revolting slob eating A, indiscernible, B, indigestible, or C, indistinguishable? The answer is B, indigestible, meaning impossible to digest or tough on the tummy. Well, revolting slob, perhaps you should put those away. They're not good for you.
Yes, they are.
I don't think so. Now, the revolting slob thinks styrofoam is good for you. Is he A, inaccurate, B, incapable, or C, inspirational? The correct answer is A, inaccurate, which means wrong, wrong, wrong. Those styrofoam pieces are terribly bad for you.
More!
Really, revolting slob, you've got to believe me. Those things are nasty.
No, they're not. No,
Yes?
they're not.
You're so insistent. Audience, when the revolting slob gets like this, is he being A, adequate, B, adamant, or C, atomized? Bless you. The correct answer is adamant, which means stubborn as a mule.
No!
I rest my case. Shall we review? The revolting slob is eating styrofoam bits which are completely indigestible.
Good for you.
He says they are good for you, which is inaccurate.
Good for you. Good.
The revolting slob is adamant that styrofoam is good for you. And that's all for today. Thank you, revolting slob. Oh, and by the way, atomize means to be reduced to tiny particles. No slobs were hurt in the filming of this show.
More stuff. Work, work, work. Next game on the way. Dirty Pictures.
numbers. Yo-ho-ho. Look alive, ye lollygaggers. I'm the incredibly dead Captain Bones. I've been sailing the seven seas for an eternity, and I'll tell ya, I'm a bored stiff. The only thing that saves me from going stark raving mad is making up math puzzles using nothing but me own bones. Now watch closely, and just do as I say, or I'll surprise the life out of ye. Just watch me bones. Let me show you what I mean. Now, you know that 1 and 1 don't come to 6, but there's a way to fix her up so she makes sense. And you can do it by moving only one of me bones. Can you see how? There ain't nothing to it. 7 minus 1 equals 6, you finger and toe counting calculator needing mathematical moron. Got the idea now? I hope so. 'Cause here's one for you to puzzle out without me help. Just let me shuffle up me bones. Does 7 minus 6 equal 12? Course not. It equals but 1. To fix me bones, you're to move only 1, just like I showed ye not a moment ago. And hands off all me other bones, you vultures. This is... What's the matter? Do I have to peel your grapes and read your bedtime story? Listen here for a clue, which you're in desperate need of. Only one of the numbers needs to change. Another thing, right now, the numbers don't add up. Add up. Get it? Here's a final hint. 5s and 6s look a lot alike. 5s and 6s. You get me? Enough already. Looks like I have to wait on ye hand and foot. At least, what's left of them. Here's the answer. 7 plus 5 equals 12. As if ye knew. See that? Got the picture now, you sniveling little poodle? Well, that's all you're getting from me. Arr!
Next game up, Mugshots.
My name's Verity. I bust bad guys. You want to help? Come on in. We got 4 suspects pinned down. 3 of them are guilty. Listen to their stories and spot the mistakes. The ones that lie did the crime. Today we're investigating a break-in at a dentist's office. 3 insiders stole some gold fillings, and just when I got a cavity too. Remember, only one of these mugs is telling the truth. The other 3 are lying. Let's start with the dentist, Dr. Cleanpick.
I'm a little bit insulted that you would accuse me of stealing my own gold. But for the record, I didn't do it. I was at my art appreciation class. We were looking at the painting of the Mona Lisa by Michelangelo. There's a lot to appreciate.
I wonder, did Michelangelo paint the Mona Lisa? Chatty Cathy's next. You got it. She never stops talking.
I was like working on my computer like the whole night. I mean, after booting up and defragging my hard drive, I had to go and like log onto the internet to go and check my email.
Do those sound like computer terms? Time for Stinky John. A little advice. A dental hygienist shouldn't smell bad.
It couldn't have been me, Verity. I was training for the Olympics when the gold was stolen, and I ran a 2-minute mile.
I'm not sure. Can he really run a 2-minute mile? Maybe that's why he smells so bad. Finally, Sam Spit. Guess what he does?
My girlfriend was teaching me to navigate. I got this great new compass. Points due west. Every time.
Does a compass point due west? Well, since the criminals all but confessed, solving the crime is a piece of cake. Be sure to brush afterwards. Did you spot the mistakes?
We were looking at the painting of the Mona Lisa by Michelangelo.
Hopefully, Dr. Cleanpick knows more about teeth than he does about art. Michelangelo was a famous artist, but he didn't paint the Mona Lisa. Leonardo da Vinci did.
I was training for the Olympics. I ran a 2-minute mile.
The next Olympics will be missing Stinky John. He wasn't running the 2-minute mile because nobody can. In fact, the fastest mile ever recorded is closer to 4 minutes than 2.
I got this great new compass. Points due west. Every time.
Sam Spit won't need directions anymore. He's going to jail. A compass doesn't point west, it points due north.
I was working on my computer last night. I like booted up, defragged my hard drive, and then logged onto the internet to retrieve my email.
Chatty Cathy may never shut up, but she didn't take the gold. Defrag, logging on, internet, and email are all computer terms. But now I need to find a new dentist. Ow! That'll teach me not to floss regularly.
Watch your backs. Coming through, coming through. Right. Okay, right there. Hold on. Poop or scoop?
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, I'm talking here. That's better. All right, it's time once again to play Poop or Scoop. Can you tell the straight scoop true from the animal poop false? Test your knowledge of the animal kingdom by separating fact from fiction. Let's get started with Poop or Scoop. Though they don't look alike, the wombat is an Australian relative of the American bat. And I ain't talking baseball. If you think the wombat's related to the American bat, go scoop. If you think that's a strikeout, go poop. And the answer is, you got it. It's animal poop. The wombat isn't a bat at all. It's a marsupial, which means it carries its babies in a pouch and lives only in Australia and New Zealand. Okay, let's go. Poop or scoop? Oysters can change from male to female. Wonder if they both wear pearls? If you believe Mr. Oyster can change it to Mrs. Oyster, vote scoop. If not, vote poop. What's it gonna be? Poop or scoop? The answer is, it's the straight scoop. Some oysters can change from male to female or female to male several times during their lifetime. Okay, let's see how you do with this one. Poop or scoop? Although the giraffe has a long neck, its tongue is only a few inches long. If you think that's the truth, go scoop. If you want to stick your neck out and say it's false, go poop. So, do giraffes have very short tongues? The answer is animal poop. The giraffe's neck is 8 feet long, and its tongue can be up to 29 inches long, making it easy to get at those hard-to-reach leaves. Well, here's the next one, gang. Poop or scoop? Some kinds of frogs and toads eat with their eyeballs. What do you think? If you agree that some frogs and toads eat with their eyeballs, vote Scoop. If you can't swallow that story, vote Pope. The answer is, it's the straight Scoop. Some types of frogs and toads project their eyeballs inward to shove food down their throats and into their stomachs. Well, kids, that's all we got for you today. If you got only one right, you're a party pooper. 2, and you're a pooper scooper. 3 makes you a super pooper scooper. If you got all 4 questions, you're what else? A super duper pooper scooper. I'm telling you, you can't get this kind of entertainment just anywhere. So please, join us again next time for Poop or Scoop.
Okay, right there. Hold it.
You fool! This is your one and only Professor Rocket, ready to once again provide you with the greatest game ever to walk the earth. Psycho Man! Whoa! Man, I gotta get that fixed. Okay, game time. Here's how it works. I'll show you an equation, but instead of numbers, I'll show you some pictures. All you gotta do is figure out what the numbers and pictures stand for. Then, just solve the problem. Got it? Good. Then I expect it's time to do some psycho math. Alright, take the age you need to be to vote. Yeah, I'm thinking of running. Then add it to the number of years in a decade. I've always been a 20s type of guy myself. Then divide it by the number of pints in a quart. Got milk? Or a milkshake. Got the answer? Let me take you through it. Takes the voting age of 18. Add it to 10 years in a decade. Then divide it by the 2 pints in a quart. And the answer is 14. 14. Now, that's what I call doing the math. The psycho math, that is. Next up, take the number of years in a century. Put on some clothes, Methuselah. Plus the number Roman numeral V stands for. You think the Romans didn't know that V is a letter? Now, just subtract the number of frames in a game of bowling. Got the answer? Need some more time? Forget it! We got 100 years in a century. Plus the 5 the Roman numeral V stands for. And then subtract the 10 frames in a game of bowling. And what you get is 95. 95. A great year for math. That number's so good, it scares me. You ready to do a lot more? Well, too bad, because this is the last one. Take the noon hour. I'm getting hungry. Now subtract the number of sides in the isosceles triangle. Next, subtract the number of zeros in a million. Got the answer? Let's go, let's go, let's go! I got a lunch date. Noon is 12 o'clock. Minus the 3 sides of an isosceles triangle, or any other triangle for that matter. Minus the 6, count them, 6 zeros in a million, equals 3. 3, a 6. Good job. That's all the time we have for today. But don't be surprised if someday, some way, when you least expect it, someone walks up to you and says, "Smile, it's time for Psycho Math." Haha. Professor Rocket's out.
It's time to play! 10 seconds! science, where you've got to read between the lines and think up the answers before time runs out. So now you know how to play. You're on your own. You got 10 seconds. The answer is man on the moon. Next one. Did you get it? Waterfall! What's next? The answer is flat tire. You got 10 more seconds to get the next one. Did you get it? Good afternoon! Well, that's it for now, so keep your feet on the ground and your head in the clouds until it's once more time to play 10 seconds!
It's time for Crashbox Rewind, where we flash back through the show and remind you how smart you really are.
Takes the voting age of 18, added to 10 years in a decade, then divided by the 2 pints and a quart. And the answer is fuck T. Fuck T.
The wombat isn't a bat at all. It's a marsupial, which means it carries its babies in a pouch and lives only in Australia and New Zealand.
Did you spot the mistakes?
We were looking at the painting of the Mona Lisa by Michelangelo.
Michelangelo was a famous artist, but he didn't paint the Mona Lisa. Leonardo da Vinci did.
The revolting slob is adamant that styrofoam is good for you. And that's all for today.
Well, that's it for now. See you next time.